Welcome to our house. This is the Screenplay Podcast. I'm your host, Evan Grenis, and back with me after taking a week off to have his first child, PGA Tour champion, Andrew Novak.
Yeah, glad to be back, man. Basically haven't slept for 4 days, so just watched probably 20 plus hours of football this weekend and didn't move off the couch.
Please get on YouTube, like, and subscribe at Screenplay_podcast. We are on socials at Screenplay_podcast. You can also check out our website, thescreenplaypodcast.com. On there, you can find our picks of the week, merch, guests, and more. New episodes every Wednesday, 8 a.m., wherever you stream podcasts. Tough week betting for the pod, but, we had some excuses. Andrew wasn't here, but he's back. We're coming back strong this week. But first, we have a special guest joining us today. 2007 U.S. Amateur and Public Links champion. Played 8 years on the PGA Tour. Since then, he has joined CBS Sports, becoming an analyst and an on-course commentator. He also has his own podcast called Subpar that features exclusive interviews that go beyond the game of golf. Today with us is Colt Knost. Colt, how you doing?
Evan, Andrew, thank you so much for having me. Andrew, congratulations on the new baby.
Appreciate
Pleasure
that.
to be on with y'all.
So, Colt, tell me about your podcast. When did you guys start that? What's it about? Just give us a little lowdown on it.
Yeah, so me and my man Drew Stoltz, everybody knows him as the Sleaze. We, I think we're just over 5 years now. We started, golf.com reached out to us back then and said would be interested in doing a podcast, and we said sure, we'll give it a try. No clue if it would be good, bad, or whatever. And we got John Rahm to be our first guest. I mean, he was obviously John Rahm, not the John Rahm he is today, but came on. We got him to rap some Kendrick Lamar on the first ever episode, talk some golf, and it just kind of took off from there. And we've had anywhere from professional golfers to Charles Barkley, Johnny Manziel, Tony Romo, tons of different athletes and celebs, man. We just sit down and chop it up and just show that, athletes are normal people too. They like to have a good time, and it's so much fun, man. I love doing what we're doing.
That's pretty cool. I haven't heard that John Rahm rap. Have you, Andrew?
No, I
have to
was
go back
unaware
to
that this existed.
Episode 1.
I listened to a couple of. I mean, you guys go through everything from even this past episode, from gambling on what was it, like barrel racing,
Yeah.
to the NFL, to your picks from the Corn Ferry Tour to the PGA Tour. You guys got it, everything. Yeah, really cool. So, who's the favorite guest that you guys have had on? Who's the most entertaining? I mean, I know you just said John Rahm.
Yeah, there's a lot, but my favorite one is my good buddy Mike Commodore, who's a former NHL player, won a Stanley Cup with the Carolina Hurricanes.
That's my guy.
I mean,
Andrew knows about that.
Yeah, that's right.
He's one of my best buddies. He was actually, I was just with him. It was his birthday. We went to the rodeo here in Scottsdale. That's why we were talking about barrel racing. But I've heard all his stories a million times, and he still has me in tears every time he tells them. And I think we've done 3 episodes with him. But episode 1 of Mike Commodore is the hardest I've ever laughed during an interview. It is just awesome. You get the old school baseball guys like George Brett, Mark Grace. They have just awesome stories, and they have no filter, which makes it even better. But those are my 3 most fun ones where you just laugh the entire time.
I love it. Yeah, we're on season 3. We started doing guests this year. We had on the CEO of the PGA Tour. We've had on Adrian Colbert, and we've had on Mick Jason, who's an NFL content creator.
Yeah.
Happy to have you. So, Colt, you are a Dallas Cowboys fan, correct?
Yeah, die hard.
What is
listen,
your?
I own it. It's fine.
What's your emotional state right now as a Cowboys fan?
I'm just at that point where I know we're not good. I know it's fun to watch our offense go up and down the field. Most of the time, the last 2 weeks haven't been that great, but we knew the defense was just terrible going into the season. The trade with Micah Parsons was just like, oh my God, I cannot believe we're doing this right now. If you just look at the last 8 months for Dallas sports between trading Luka Doncic and now Micah Parsons,
the GM was fired
here?
Today, I believe, wasn't he? Yeah.
Nico Harrison, he gone. They were joking that the Lakers were going to build a statue of Nico outside the Staples Center there, right next to Magic Johnson for what they got. But yeah, man, it's been a mess. I'm a diehard. I get excited. We had those runs where we were 13-3 3 years in a row in the regular season, get bounced in the playoffs. It's frustrating, man, but I love them. I love watching every single Sunday. I love turning on ESPN when them and YouTube TV aren't arguing, and watch every sports show just talk about the Cowboys all day long. But yeah, it's in my blood, man. I'll never change.
So you just mentioned the Micah trade. What's your thoughts on the moves that Jerry's made this year? Obviously, the Micah one early this year, and then he made one two before the trade deadline. What are your thoughts on them? I think the Micah trade, as the weeks go by, is starting to look better and better. Previous to 2 months ago.
I mean, the way if it all nets out is we lost Micah Parsons, but you get Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams and a first-round pick. That's what you net, because we got two of them for Micah. We gave one to the Jets. So you're getting two really good players. They're not Micah, but they're really good. And a first-round pick. It could turn out okay, but I'm such a big Micah Parsons fan. I mean, I think he's a generational talent, and tough to see those walk out the door.
Absolutely. So kind of branching off of these Cowboys struggles, if you could add any former Cowboy to this team, I don't think this team is one player away. But if there was a former Cowboy you could add to this team, who do you think would benefit the team the most and why?
Well, right now I'd have to say, there's two. But I would say Charles Haley to start, just because he was a monster on the defensive line, and all he did was win, whether it was in San Francisco or Dallas. If I was going to maybe go secondary, I'd go Darren Woodson. I just love that guy. Hall of Famer, stud, and our secondary is just absolutely horrendous.
It's not good.
I mean, every game, Andrew, I know you watch. My buddy Sleaze, who I do the pod with, is a diehard Bronco fan, and we watched that game a couple weeks ago. And every receiver, there wasn't a defender within 10 yards of a receiver. I was like, what are we doing here, guys? Maybe we got two corners that have $90 million contracts, and they can't cover anybody.
Yeah, that's a tough contract there with what is it? Diggs.
Bland and Diggs.
Diggs. Oh.
Diggs got a concussion at home, apparently.
Yeah, that was a weird one. That was a weird one. I saw that. Colt, as a Cowboys fan, I mean, I was looking up some of your stats on the PGA Tour from the years you've played. It seemed like you were a pretty good putter on the PGA Tour. So I got a question for you. This is a hypothetical. To get into the Super Bowl, would you rather have Brandon Aubrey from 65 yards or you from 6 feet making a putt?
Is this like present day?
Yeah, present day.
Man, it's a toss-up, honestly. I do feel very confident from 6 feet, but that guy is just unbelievable. He is special. I was wanting him to kick one from like 75 in Denver at the altitude just to see if he could do it. But I'm going to put it on me. I'm going to take the putt.
I like it. I'm a huge Aubrey fan. I mean, unbelievable what he's doing in the NFL.
What a story, too. Like, just came out of nowhere, and now he's the best kicker in the league.
Yeah, what was it? 1 year
soccer player,
XFL maybe, and then boom, right up there.
So, also kind of going back into your golf career a little bit, I was doing a little research, touching up. So, your highest solo finish on the PGA Tour was at the Heritage. Is that correct? You had a tied for third at the Players, but solo third at the Heritage. This was in 2012. So I was just looking at the leaderboard, and it kind of intrigued me. So Carl Pedersen won that year. Second was Zach Johnson. But then behind that on the leaderboard was you, Kevin Stadler, Billy Mayfair, and Boo Weekley in that order. Could an offensive line of the five of you with Zach Johnson running it get a yard on the Cowboys defense?
I love Zach, but after how he ran the United States Ryder Cup team, I don't think I'm okay with him being our quarterback. Kidding. I love you, Zach. Yeah, that's funny. I knew exactly where you were going with that when you started listing those names. That's good. I actually did not know that's who finished behind us.
That's a solid. I mean, I don't know.
We would get smoked, but we could definitely suit up.
You might be playing center there, but man, that's a stout crew.
That's funny. That's some big time research from you.
Must have been really windy that week. That's what.
Yeah, I just remember it played really hard. It was.
Scored. I love. Carl won. He was the only guy double digits under par.
He won by
like
5.
Yeah, 5 shots. Yeah,
it's my favorite course on the PGA Tour. I love that place.
We'll see. Davis did a little tweaking to it, so we'll see. I don't know what it's going to look like. I hope he didn't tweak too much, though. I like that.
Yeah,
place.
he better not have messed that one up. That's a lot of people's favorites out there.
Yeah.
All right, Colt. 4-man scramble. You can only take NFL players with you. Who you playing with?
We'll have to take Tony. Can I take Tony Romo? Does that count?
We can throw him in there for sure. Yeah.
Tony Romo for sure. Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be quarterbacks or kickers, most likely. I don't know any like the present day guys' golf games right now. Who else could we go with? I'm going to go with my man Derek Anderson out here in Scottsdale, longtime NFL player. And then I don't know who else is good.
I guess you could throw maybe like Allen.
Josh
or Mahomes in there.
Scobie
Yeah.
can play.
Josh Scobie's good, yeah.
Kicker for the Jags a while ago. I knew he could play.
He could play. I remember like Aldel Greco used to win the celebrity event out in Tahoe. That's kind of boring.
He was the head coach for Mercer, right? The golf team.
I don't know.
Who?
Oh wow.
I believe. Well, see, I've done no research. I'm pretty sure he was their head coach, though.
That's going to be out of my realm.
We played. They were in our conference, Evan.
Yeah, I know, but man, we were in college 10 years ago? Like I can't remember that, man. Whew.
A lot's changed since then.
Well, you had an extra year in college too, so you should know.
I took some
Shots
summer
fired.
classes. I took some summer classes to finish. It was like 3 hours or 6 hours, but yeah.
Oh, my fault. Sorry, Samford, not Mercer, but still same in the conference.
All right, I'm gonna go Rodgers, Romo. Who'd the other one I say?
You said your buddy out in
Oh, Derek Anderson. And I'm going to throw
yeah.
Josh Anderson in there so he can just smash, or Josh Allen just so he can smash it off the tee.
I love
Perfect.
it. So do you have your AM status back? I was reading up on it. I know you applied for it. Do you have your amateur status back?
No, but apparently people get really angry when you do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so I got an email I just applied to see like how
Okay.
long it would take because there's been a lot of talk about all this. And
Yep.
I've been thinking about doing it for a couple of years just because I play in a few pro scratches out here that are like really good. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
the pro.
No, there's some serious pro
Yeah.
scratch events around the country for sure.
Like
Yeah.
we have John Rahm and Wyndham Clark playing our pro scratch at Wishbrook, and
Yeah.
like guys like David Pooge and others. And like I have to be a pro. Like that sucks because I'm not going to play with them. So I want to be the scratch. And so I was like, let me just see what it would be. And I talked about it a little bit, and obviously got people fired up. But I got an email from the USGA saying 2028. So
That's not
that'll
that
be
bad.
yeah.
Okay.
So but I mean I haven't played since 2020, and that was in February. So basically 8 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm
assuming
gonna go a follow-up question to that. Though. Hold on.
okay.
All right. So you played at SMU.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of amateur status, this question is from Patrick Taiedo, who he said he met you at the Wyndham Championship a couple of years ago. You may or may not remember him, but he wants to know.
Hey, Patrick.
He wants to know if any of these professional football players could get their AM status back and come back to college and play for SMU, who would you want it to be?
If anyone,
Yeah.
and
Football.
they have to go to SMU originally.
Yeah. Which SMU
Oh,
player in the NFL would you want to come back and play?
Well, of all time, Eric Dickerson.
Okay. Yep.
Current day, I'd probably have to say Cortland Sutton.
Ooh, Andrew, you didn't say the name you were thinking of.
Who'd he say?
I
earlier-
have a whole thing. I have a whole thing on this. Cole Beasley, Emmanuel Sanders, Cortland Sutton, Rashee Rice. Like, should SMU be a little bit more respected as a wide receiver factory?
Yeah, we've got some studs, man. Cole Beasley, I love that guy. He
Well,
played for the Cowboys too.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Cowboys and Bills, but he was great. We crossed paths at SMU, but yeah, we've had some good ones, man.
Mm-hmm. So going back to the earlier thing, so assuming you get your amateur status in 2028, where do you think your return to amateur sports will fall on a scale of Belichick to Saban?
Well, hopefully it goes better than Belichick. I mean, it's
exactly.
just
That's the bottom.
It's been
And
ugly.
then
Yeah. I'm probably closer to Belichick because I'm really not going to play that much. If I'm kind of busy out there walking with you in the fairway every week with CBS. So I would say a little better than Belichick, though. But hey, if I could get up there, I mean, I don't even know if I'm going to play the mid-am, which is the ultimate in mid-am golf. But if I could just get into match play and make some noise, boy, that would stir some things up.
Well, Colt, you won the USM in 2007, and I noticed like you've turned pro, so you forgave your Masters entry. So when you get your AM status back in 2028, is that like a potential goal? Do you think that you can have the game in 2028 to get back there?
I mean, I think I can still play. I mean, I play 3 days a week when I'm home. I play against a lot of really good players, and I know I can play. But will I have the time to work at it and get ready to go? I doubt it. I'm too busy with everything else. I would love to play just once to see where I'm at and get those juices going again. But it would damn sure be pretty funny if somehow I won the mid-am and then I had to tell CBS, sorry, I can't work this week. I actually got to go play in the Masters.
That'd be a hell of a story for sure.
I would not do that, CBS. Work comes first.
Speaking of CBS,
They'd be miking you up out there. They're like, no, you're wearing this.
Yeah.
The walking on-course announcer analyst while playing. I love it. So speaking of CBS, outside of Jim Nantz, who on your CBS golf broadcast team would you want in the booth with you to call a Cowboys game?
Well, Trevor's a big Cowboy fan, so
is
probably him. Yeah, he's actually a diehard fan. I mean, Frank Nobilo is my boy. Him and I just go at it. He would probably actually be great because we would just abuse each other the whole time, and he would abuse the Cowboys. So that'd be fun. But to actually have knowledge and be able to call a game, it would definitely be Trevor.
How did Trevor get into it? Because where's is he from? That
South
area?
Africa.
South African.
Yeah. So how is he a Cowboys fan?
I don't really know. I mean, I think just growing up in South Africa, you probably didn't see a whole lot of NFL teams on TV. Cowboys are everywhere, and
Yeah, true. That is true.
So this is going back. This is probably one of when people think of your highlights, they think of that putt on Torrey on the third hole there. At this point, obviously you made it then, but what do you think is a more likely outcome? You having made that putt or the Cowboys winning a Super Bowl in Jerry's lifetime?
oh, it's really sad that that's like the highlight.
Yeah.
By the way, a freaking putt on the third hole. But
I don't. I mean, I feel like everybody
sick,
has
though.
seen that video. I mean, it's
it was nuts. And then right after I made it, they blew the horn and said it was unplayable. I was like, no shit, it was unplayable. I've been telling you that the whole time. You don't see this out here. Probably the Cowboys in Jerry's lifetime. I don't think he can let it go.
Yeah.
He can't pass the baton to someone that can actually run the football team.
No, I feel like there's. I say this all the time. There's like 31 NFL teams, and then there's the Dallas Cowboys. He runs it like a show. I mean, he says it all the time.
Did you watch the documentary though on Netflix?
I've seen parts of it. I gotta watch it.
God, man, it was great. Yeah, it was really cool.
I've heard. I gotta get through the rest of it for sure. Who's the biggest football junkie among the CBS golf crew? Are any of you guys sneaking in Red Zone on Sundays on your phone while you're watching the golf, or is?
Oh, I mean, I am. There's no doubt about it. It's either me. Our producer, Sellers Shy, is a junkie. I mean, he knows every player in the NFL, every stat. He's probably the biggest junkie, and I would say I'd be next. We do have Jim Rickoff, who is the actual NFL CBS producer. He produces the games with Nance and Romo, and he produced the Super Bowl last time it was in Vegas, which was the highest watch sporting event of all time. He does golf as well, so you can definitely put him up there. But yeah, we have a few junkies out there.
Andrew, you got any more? Football?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the same on tour. Is there anybody? I get asked a decent bit, like who else on tour is kind of like some of the biggest football junkies who would have some of the most knowledge, and a lot of times I kind of give them Spieth. I feel like Spieth stays on top of it, but is there anybody else that you think probably deserves some credit for knowing ball?
For NFL, it's definitely Spieth.
He's on top of his stuff.
He knows his stuff. If you dipped into the college world, I'd say Justin Thomas. He's pretty dialed, especially when it comes to Alabama and the SEC. But NFL wise, no, Wyndham Clark's a big Denver Bronco fan, but I think it's kind of fake. Sorry, Wyndham. I don't think you're diehard. You don't know exactly what's going on with your squad at all hours.
I don't know if Bo Nix knows what's going on half the time. But
man,
that's
at least for the first 3 quarters, he doesn't know. What's going on.
Exactly.
I tell you what. All you need to do is play the Cowboys, and they all of a sudden think you're going to be you're an NFL Hall of Famer as a quarterback.
Fix your offense.
Every week we say it in our fantasy starts. We're like, whoever is playing the Cowboys, get them in there. Yeah. Get them in your lineup. It's an automatic great week in fantasy.
I mean, Jacoby Brissett the other night on Monday night looked great for the Cardinals. I mean, we suck.
All right, Colt. We appreciate you coming on, but before you go, you got to give us your 3 bets of the week in the NFL. What do you got?
All right, I'm going to start off in the game over in Spain. Commanders, Dolphins. I feel like every time these teams go overseas, the offense doesn't go with them, and they struggle to score. I'm going under 47.5, Commanders, Dolphins. And then got Chicago Bears at Minnesota. Bears have won 6 out of 7. They win in like dirty fashion. I just feel like this is going to be a close game. Bears are catching 3. So give me Chicago. Caleb Williams starting to turn it around a little bit. I'm not a believer yet, but they have won 6 out of 7, and they're tied for the lead in that division. And then the best game of the week is Rams-Seahawks, I would say. And in my opinion, Matthew Stafford's your NFL MVP right now. I think the Rams are the best team in the NFL. Give me the Rams -2.5 at home. I love Matthew Stafford, by the way.
I like Stafford.
We might have a little segment on that later. So yeah,
I was shaking my head there just because I'm a Patriots fan and May's leading right now, and I'm like, hell yeah, May. But no, Stafford's playing unbelievable. I think 20 touchdowns, no picks over the last 6 weeks. Rams are looking really good. We'll see where they are in the power rankings in a little bit.
Yeah, I think I heard this morning, like for the season, Stafford's 27 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. That's
it's so funny because before the season, like 2 weeks before the season, he has this back injury, and everyone's like, "Oh, like is he?" I saw Puka Nacua just fall down fantasy boards, and then it's like nothing ever happened. He was never hurt.
Yeah.
He was fine, just sitting there ready to go.
And then Devontae Adams is just back to the old Devontae Adams. Just it's cool, man. They're playing great.
Took a couple of years off, but yeah, back with the Rams. Devontae's looking really good.
Yeah.
Well, Colt, we really appreciate you coming on, spending some time with us, answering some questions about the golf world, NFL, about your podcast. What's your podcast name one more time?
Subpar. You can find it anywhere you get your podcast.
All right. Well, we appreciate it. Andrew, any last words with Colt?
no, thanks for coming on.
You got it, man. Congrats on a great season, by the way. Congrats on the baby. And I look forward to seeing you out in the fairways in 2026.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Got it, boys.
All right. That was Colt Knost, analyst for CBS. He sees you out there all the time in the fairways. I think CBS had the coverage for the Zurich Classic where you guys won, didn't they?
Yeah, I did well. They had Farmers Insurance. They had most of my good finishes this year, I believe.
Yeah, so Colt's
Valero might have been CBS as well. So yeah, I got to see a good bit of him, which is generally a good thing.
All right, let's get into football. Monday Night Football. Eagles defeat the Packers 10-7. What an absolute thriller here on Monday night. 0-0 at halftime. Eagles end up pulling it out. They move to 7-2. Packers drop another one at home, fall to 5-3-1. What did you see out of this game on Monday night?
Yeah, so my daughter was born on Wednesday, and we're just still in the hospital on Thursday, and so I watched the Thursday night game, and I mean, she's a day old, but I told her this is the worst NFL game you will ever watch in your entire life. And we just got it repeated on Monday. So
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on with primetime games right now.
A couple primetime games this week just did not have it.
Horrible quarterback play. My goodness, that was ugly. Yeah, I mean, I expected these defenses to do some good things, but I thought that there was going to be some playmaking. There's enough playmakers on the field. I mean, I guess Green Bay's like pretty dinged up, but man, this was ugly.
No, Green Bay's offense looked like they had no idea what they were doing. Tucker Kraft out, completely changed this offense. Matthew Golden was out this game. Really, they were just running the ball up the middle 2 or 3 yards with Jacobs. They had no other options. They were throwing it to Dontavian Wicks, Bo Melton, Romeo Dobbs went out. Luke Musgrave was supposed to be a great tight end, not really filling the hole that Tucker Kraft was filling. I don't know what Green Bay's going to do with this offense. The defense is fine. I think the defense is playing well. You hold the Eagles to 10 points. Micah Parsons this game, though. No QB hits, no sacks, and it was the same last week. So we were feeling really good about Green Bay, I don't know, 5-6 weeks ago. What's your feeling on them now moving forward? I think we both had them as a Super Bowl pick, didn't we?
Yeah. And their defense is like, it's been good, but at times it's kind of weird. The Packers are in a weird spot to me. Like, I think that there has kind of been a blueprint now of like how you can stop the Packers. Like, if you can stop their run game, it takes away a lot of what they want to do, especially in the play action game. Like, theoretically, like with their weapons the way they are, like Tucker Kraft was one of the guys that like in one-on-one you had to be very cautious of, because like, if he had a linebacker on him, he's going to cook him. He can run over secondary guys if he gets the ball in his hand. Running downfield. So I think when you are able to stop their run game, and if you have guys that can match up on their outside guys aren't that, aren't elite players, but you got to have somebody with some speed for Christian Watson. And I think that I think in the last few weeks, the Panthers and now the Eagles have kind of shown other teams maybe how to stop the Packers, and they're going to have to adjust to this because obviously like Kraft's not coming back. Like they've got guys out. They, getting Jaden Reed back would be huge, but I think that they need to find a way to start attacking teams in different areas, because at this point, to me, it looks like they're kind of figured out.
Yeah. So the Panthers, they have a solid run D, and then the Eagles have a solid run D. Both were able to
both teams with elite defensive tackles and pretty solid cover corners. J.C. Horn, solid cover corner. Derek Brown on Panthers D-line. And then the Packers could not run it up the middle against the Eagles. Jalen Carter just stuffing everything. Like, if you have that capability on your defensive line, it really it seems to be giving the Packers issues at this point.
I want to talk about Jalen Phillips for a second. So the Eagles grab him right before the trade deadline. I think this was a great move. So he comes into this game, first game with the Eagles. He has 2 quarterback hits, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 fumble recovery. So comes in less than a week of practice with the Eagles. Immediate difference maker. I think that was a great move by Howie Roseman before the trade deadline. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Phillips is, I honestly, I think he's always been a pretty good player in Miami. He's just had like big injury issues, and then that defense is a mess. I got a buddy that's a Dolphins fan, and he was like saying, hey, that was a decent deal for us. I was like, when he gets there, he's going to look like a different player now. And sure enough, we've seen that. I don't know if some of that is being in Miami with the run defense being in a situation where they are, like how bad it's been, where he's having to like basically when he's playing with the Eagles, they have solid run defense, solid defensive tackles. He can kind of pin it back and know he can, rush the quarterback, doesn't have to worry about other stuff as much. I don't know if there's like a little bit of freedom in being able to play like that, but
I think his value is just higher on the Eagles. They're a team that's going to be leading more games.
That's true. Actually,
when you're down, when you're not winning, playing in Miami, like his value is just
teams
not
are just
as much
running
there.
the ball more. Yeah,
exactly. Yep. Let's get to Sunday Night Football. Chargers defeat the Steelers 25-10. I was on the Steelers +3 here. I thought the O-line injuries would hurt the Chargers. The Steelers would do well in LA. Basically a home crowd. Nope. That was probably one of the worst games I've ever seen Aaron Rodgers play. I can think of off the top of my head at least like 4 or 5 passes that he threw that he just straight up missed. Just missed the guy. Terrible throw. He caused a safety. It was ugly. What are your thoughts on this Sunday Night Football game?
Yeah, I don't think your logic was like necessarily terrible. The Steelers actually very much took advantage of this Chargers offensive line. Herbert got hit a bunch. He got dinged up in this game. He got sacked 5 times. The Chargers didn't run the ball particularly well. They were kind of able to slow that down. But yeah, I mean, it didn't matter because the Steelers offense was so bad that, the game, they couldn't do anything. The Chargers just kept getting chance after chance with decent field position. And the Chargers defense won this, and then, Ladd did a couple things. They had enough plays on the offense where they were able to get some points.
Yeah, Rodgers went 16 for 31, 160 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. One of the picks, not his fault, but the other pick was absolutely a terrible throw. The safety was pretty much all his fault as well. When you look at the offense on this game, it was not great. The only thing working on Sunday Night Football in this game was Ladd McConkey. When he caught the ball, it was a big play. He went 4 for 6, 107 yards, and a touchdown. So, just throughout the entire game, like the offensive weapons on the Steelers, the offensive weapons on the Chargers, not much happened. But Ladd, I think Ladd really carried the team here this game.
Yeah, it was interesting to see with Rondé Gadsden going down in this game. Ladd really became kind of that underneath guy. Keenan Allen works in those spaces as well. But I do feel like maybe Ladd's been struggling a little bit with how many guys have been getting the ball in that offense. And with losing one of those guys, he really stepped up and, made some big plays for them. I thought the biggest thing in this game, the Steelers went 2 for 11 on third down this game. They just, the Chargers were getting him off the field. Rodgers wasn't making any plays on third down. Look, he's 40 now. He's not like mobile. He's not going to run. He's not a threat to get out of the pocket and run something down. It's going to have to be the guys making plays. And right now the Steelers don't have really a wide receiver core that's going to go out and just get open.
Nope. Yeah. Speaking of that wide receiver core, Roman Wilson, DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin, Pat Freiermuth. DK's a 1, but there was no 2 there. It's like a 1 and then a bunch of 3 and 4s. He's just tossing it to his tight ends. There's really not a whole lot of weapons for Rodgers there. They got to run the ball a little better. I want to shout out.
DK to me is not even necessarily a 1. He's a big target, but you have to have a counter off of him because he's very he's limited in what he does. He can run slants, but pretty much he's a go or a stop guy. He's a sideline guy. I think Pickens has been fantastic this year, but Pickens and CD are perfect because they work for each other. CD works the middle of the field, stuff like that, the crossing routes, whatever, and you have Pickens up the sideline. I think you need that with DK Metcalf, or else it doesn't really work because you can just shade a safety to his side, and there's no there's no counterpunch off of that. So DK is, I guess, a 1, but like you kind of need a 1A 1B situation with him, because I think with what he does, you need somebody else to help basically take advantage of it.
I agree. Let's talk about Justin Herbert for a second. You mentioned it. Sacked 5 times, hit 9. He leads the league in quarterback hits. So this year on sacks, Cam Ward's taken the most, 38. Drake May, 35. Herbert's right there in third, 33 sacks taken. This O-line is beat up. How concerned are you with Herbert week in and week out taking this many hits? Do you think he's going to make it through the season?
Yeah, I mean, very. That offensive line is a disaster. I don't know if you saw, like when the game started, they have like the PFF ranks, like as they're doing.
It was
literally every single one was either dead last or second to last.
It was like 64th out of 65, 65 out of 65. So it was not good. You
could argue whatever you want about PFF being good or not, but man, that offensive line is so bad. That center Bradley Bozeman has been brutal this year. He struggled with the Panthers, so I mean, I got to see it before, but man, Herbert just doesn't really have time. He's running for his life. He's actually done a good job escaping the pocket and running it pretty well this year.
He has,
I am really concerned if that angle is a hindrance and he's not able to get out of the pockets, he's just going to get killed in there. So I am very much concerned for his safety with what they're rolling out there with the offensive line right now. You would have hopefully thought that they would have learned what the Bengals have done, and now they've gotten Burrow killed all this time. You would think you'd want to get some offensive line around him. Obviously, like, injuries have definitely decimated the offensive line, but still, man, it's not good when you have a $250 million quarterback back there and you're not keeping him upright.
Next up, the Chargers are going to the Jaguars, and the Bengals are going to the Steelers. Thursday night football, you just mentioned this earlier. It was the worst football game of the year until Monday night, but Broncos defeat the Raiders 10-7. This had to be one of the worst football games of the 2025 NFL season on prime time. Absolute snoozer. Each team had more penalties than points. I don't know if I've ever said that before. The score was 10-7. Each team had 11 penalties. So just very, very ugly game, not buttoned up. The Raiders, 8 punts, 1 blocked punt, a missed field goal. Broncos, 7 punts, a missed field goal. In fact, the Raiders' special teams was so bad, they fired their special team coordinator the next day, Tom McMahon. He's gone. 8 punts, a blocked punt, a missed field goal. Terrible operation by the Raiders. Really terrible operation by both teams on Thursday night.
Yeah, this game was awful. Both teams were bad in this game. The Broncos might be one of the worst 8-2 teams I've ever seen. Like, the Steelers have had some bad teams that have made it this far in the season.
That 1 year Steelers where Roethlisberger,
like 10-0,
they were like 9-0 or 10-0. Yeah. That was the biggest fraud team I've ever seen. But
the Broncos are so bad. Like, they win games, but I watch them play and I'm like, this is awful. Like, their defense is good. Don't get me wrong, and like, they do have very good players on that defense, so that's why they're winning games. But the offense, like, Bo Nix is so bad, and they're force feeding Troy Franklin, and it's not like he's not good. Like, I just watch pass after pass just sail past receivers, or I just don't understand what they're trying to do on offense, like on 90% of the plays.
I feel like Bo Nix has a rule where it's like I can only throw behind the line of scrimmage or 40 yards downfield. There's no in between. There's no 10,
very
15
little
yard middle of the field. There's absolutely nothing. It's I'm going to check it out 2 yards behind the line and see if he can take it, or I'm just going to chuck one down the field and see what happens.
It's so bizarre. Like, they have some decent players on this team. Like, I don't understand why Courtland Sutton is not getting the ball thrown to him more. I don't understand, like, Pat Bryant, every time he's in, like, looks like he's doing good stuff. I don't know why he's not, like, somewhat in more of the Michael Thomas role. Like, he runs such a clean slant for, like, every time I see him in the game, it looks like he's doing good stuff. And they've got Troy Franklin, Bo Nix's buddy, out there just running around willy-nilly doing nothing. I mean, he's getting 10, 12 targets a game. He's turning like 40 yards each time. Like, it's just not working.
So the Broncos, 3-point win over the Raiders, 3-point win over the Texans, a crazy comeback to beat the Giants. You beat the Jets 13-11, yet we look at their record, they're 8-2. They're leading the AFC West. So, like, do you think they can keep winning this way, or is this just luck and it's not sustainable?
No, I mean, I don't think they will. They still got to play the Chiefs twice. They still got to play the Packers. Like, they'll probably make the playoffs at this point because they've stacked enough wins. But, like, this is the kind of team that just, like, they might even win the division. Who knows? Like, they might roll in the playoffs like 12-5, whatever, host it, and then just get smoked by some other team, that has made it as the wild card. I mean, the defense is good, but man, the offense is so bad. Like they're going to have games where they turn it over 3-4 times, and it's just not going to go well. You can't play
Sometimes
offense like this and win games consistently.
Sometimes I wonder if Sean Payton knows their defense is that good and just calls the game so safe.
But
I don't
then
think
why
it's
is
that
Bo launching it downfield for no reason? Like sometimes, like I get that, but if that's the case, like I still think it would be called in a different way. Like I don't understand what they're doing on offense.
So the Broncos are 8-2. We don't believe in them just because of how they're winning the games. But this is a massive game this week. The Chiefs are at the Broncos. If the Broncos can win this game, I don't really care what the score is, and you go to 9-2.
Yeah.
I think they're a real contender. Next up for the Raiders, they have the Cowboys coming into town on Monday Night Football. Let's get to another game. Patriots defeat the Buccaneers 28-23. Patriots notch their 7th win in a row. This was a big one. This was a real test. Bucs, a good team coming off a bye at home. Patriots go in there and they get the W. This was big because, let's be honest, the Patriots have been beating tomato cans. Before this Bucs win, they beat the Falcons, Browns, Titans, Saints. The next 3 weeks, they got the Jets, Bengals, Giants. So their record, it's very good, but they've definitely been beating up on some weak teams. So this was a big win. What do you think the ceiling is for this Mike Vrabel-led New England team?
Yeah, look, the Patriots played nobody. For the rest of the season, they played the Bills and the Ravens and literally nobody else. Like, nobody with a pulse other than that.
Nope,
I mean,
they have the
realistically,
easiest schedule remaining in the NFL. Yep.
They could play mediocre and they're still probably going 13-4. Like, they're set up really nice. The schedule is very, very easy, and there's a very good chance they're going to be playing a lot of home games in the playoffs. I mean, if the Bills slip up anywhere else, I mean, they already have 3 losses. Like, it easily could be the Patriots winning this division.
Did you see Mike Vrabel's play calling at the end of the first half in this game?
I did not. I was watching Red Zone.
Okay, so yeah. There's a minute left in the first half. They're on the 1 yard line.
Oh,
and they had
burned
Drake
the whole
May
clock.
take.
Yes.
That was one of the smartest coaching plays I have seen.
It was like a quarterback sneak where he just basically dove into his center just to maintain position.
They ended up scoring on the 4th and goal to get a touchdown. But even if they don't score, you prevent the Bucs from getting the ball there and having a chance to go down the field, and then the Patriots get the ball in the second half. So I think that was just outstanding coaching by Mike Vrabel at the end of the first half. There,
it would have looked very stupid if they didn't get the 4th and goal. But
that's the thing, though. If you don't get it, the Bucs have no time to go down the field, and the Patriots get the ball to start the second half. So yeah, it's a little bit weird, but I love it. I think more teams should do that when given the opportunity. Let's talk about Bucky Irving for a second. What's good with Bucky Irving? Like, he has his knee injury, his ankle injury, then the shoulder injury. There's like no timetable for this return. He might just not play the rest of the season.
It sounds like the shoulder's bad. Sounds like shoulder's bad. I mean, they said it was a dislocation. I'm assuming that there's like a structural issue as well with that, because it probably wouldn't have taken this long. I just don't know if you'll see him back this year. I think they have all right running backs with Rachaad White and and Sean Tucker. But yeah, I mean, in general, this Buccaneers team would appreciate getting a bit more healthy. Mike Evans coming back would help. Chris Godwin, I don't know if he's, ever going to be Chris Godwin again at this point, but like getting him back on the field would at least help. They're definitely struggling with that. And Baker's been doing what he can. He really is still like playing some decent football, but
I got to say, in this loss, Baker played amazing. He made some of his touchdown throws, just absolute pinpoint dimes, rockets, to Tez Johnson there.
Yeah.
I thought Baker played really well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, tough game for them, but like, I mean, the Buccaneers are in a good spot. They're in a division that is just horrible, and they're going to win the division. So, I mean, they're getting like, with Bucky, like taking the time to make sure he's healthy is like very much like valid, because they're not going to lose the division at this point, based on what I've seen from the other teams.
Yeah. Shout out Travion Henderson. Shout out Kyle Williams. Rookies for the Patriots went absolutely off this week. Travion Henderson, 14 carries, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kyle Williams, rookie, with a 72-yard touchdown catch. Mike Vrabel, we need to see more of those guys. Keep Travion in there, dude. I feel like Ramondre is going to come back, and they're just going to plop him right back in there in the one spot. Next up, Jets at Patriots, Thursday Night Football. And the Bucs are going to Buffalo to play the Bills. All right, Dolphins defeat the Bills 30-13. Well, the Bills went down to South Florida, and frankly, they never got off the plane. They just turned around and went home. They didn't show up. Bills favored by 9.5, ended up losing by 17. I don't know what to do with the Bills. Like, they beat Kansas City last week, and then they throw up a game like this. Like, what's your thought with the Buffalo Bills?
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, like we said, like the Patriots kind of have like a nice little free ride through like the rest of the season. So the Bills really couldn't afford to like give away any softies because, I mean, they do play the Patriots twice. If they want to have home field advantage to the playoffs, if they want the Chiefs to have to come play at their place, like they kind of need to be stacking wins and, you know, ideally getting that first round bye. So this was definitely a step in the wrong direction. Maybe it's one of those where it kind of like, you know, little kickstart, get them back and lock them back in. But I mean, it was ugly. They were just flat out bad in this game.
So the Bills are 6-3. Their schedule, the rest of the season is Bucks, Texans, Steelers, Bengals, Patriots, Browns, Eagles, Jets. So they're 6-3. Do you think the Bills are still making the playoffs?
Yeah, Bills are making the playoffs.
Okay,
There are absolutely there are issues with this team. Like I definitely have some serious concerns. Like they really should have added a wide receiver at the deadline. But yeah, there's enough bad teams on there. They're winning games. They're going to win enough games. The AFC is like on the weaker side, in my opinion, and I'm not that concerned with them yet.
You know, the Bills let Mac Hollins go to the Patriots, and I gotta say, he's one of the best blocking. He's one of the best blocking wide receivers in the league. Like without him, Travion Henderson does not take it to the house this week. Mac Hollins is even was it this week? He caught a long one. Like
he had a great game.
The Bills could use him to help that running game out. Catch a couple passes. I'm sure they're not happy they let him go to the Patriots. Next up, the Bucs are going to the Bills, and the Commanders are playing the Dolphins over in Spain. All right, let's get to some other talking points. Every year in the NFL, about 7 coaches will be fired. It's just a fact. Just is what it is. This year, Brian Callahan of the Titans has been fired. This week, Brian Daboll of the Giants has been fired. That's 2. Who are going to be the other 5 coaches fired this year?
Yeah. So I think 2 in the AFC East. I think Mike McDaniel still gets fired. I think it'll be after the season. I think it'll be what Black Monday. Is that what they call it? It sounds like they're going to let him stay through the season, but yeah, I do think he's still kind of dead man walking. Aaron Glenn, I actually think gets the hook at the end of the year.
I completely agree
in
with
New
you.
York.
They're running into a similar situation where the Chicago Bears were in last year, where they're going to get like their quarterback. They're going to get a top pick. So it's like, do you want Aaron Glenn, a defensive guy who's unproven with a rookie quarterback coming in, or do you want to get rid of him now, get the right coach in there? It's kind of a Bears situation, I feel like, where, what is it? The Bears let Eberflus have Caleb Williams for, 8 or 9 weeks before they fired him.
Mm-hmm. I think Stefanski could be on the out. I could also see him like staying as well, especially if, say, Shador comes in last 4 weeks and looks better than what they've had. I could see them being like, okay, like try and keep developing him. I think Raheem Morris could be gone for the Falcons. They've made strides on the defense, but they need to win football games. Like they're in a bad division. I think fans kind of had higher hopes, especially with the jump that the defense has made. Like I think if fans had been told like, yeah, the defense will take a step forward, I think they would have expected a little bit more out of this season. I think Jonathan Gannon, honestly, in Arizona is potentially gone. Just too much stagnation, like not really any winning seasons, nothing really going. I feel like the team doesn't have much of identity. It sounds like Kyler's now going to be out. I think that'll be a kind of like a full reset, new coach in, try and get a new quarterback in there and redo that. And then my last one, I'll throw one little fun one in there because I do see a route where it happens. Mike Tomlin. I think if things go really south for Steelers, especially going from a position where they had kind of a nice hold on that division, if they fall all the way out of the playoffs, like I know a lot of Steelers fans, and man, there's not a lot of Steelers fans that are big Tomlin fans. It seems like.
You think Aaron Rodgers is going to get 2 coaches fired in 2 years?
If there was a guy to do it.
All right, my surprise one I'm throwing in here, Pete Carroll with the Raiders. I think it's one and done. I think the Raiders draft a quarterback, and I think Pete Carroll is out. I haven't seen anything from the Raiders this year to give me reason why Pete Carroll will be back next year.
The one thing I will say about the Raiders, they could easily scapegoat Chip Kelly. That offense has been so bad. But yes, I think that is a possibility.
Yeah, but I agree with you on all the others. Raheem Morris, Falcons, his record is 11-13. I think he's kind of had a misuse of Bijan. I think we need more Bijan, and they haven't been using him properly. But yeah, I think Raheem Morris after this year may be gone. And then Jonathan Gannon, like you were saying, he's 14-27 with Arizona. Kyler seems to be out. I think it could be a full reset there in Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think really the only other name, like Dave Canales with the Panthers, but just being a Panthers fan,
no way.
It seems like they're giving him way more time, in my opinion. Like, it just seems like they'll probably let him reset with a new quarterback and stuff. I don't think his
seat is even hot. I would argue Bryce is more on a hot seat than Dave.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
all right. So with the play of Drake May, he's been stellar this year. I'm kind of wondering, where do you have Drake May on your quarterback list? So we are going to take you guys through our top 10 quarterbacks. Start me at 10 and bring me down to 1.
So starting at 10, and I kind of bounced around with some of this. You might be a little disappointed with where May is, but he's definitely been climbing. Starting at 10, I'm going to go Jared Goff. I think he deserves to be in this 10. He's played some good football. At 9, I've got Baker Mayfield. 8, Jaden Daniels. 7, Drake May. 6, Matt Stafford. 5, Justin Herbert. 4, Joe Burrow. 3, Lamar Jackson. 2, Josh Allen. 1, Patrick Mahomes. Ranking 1 through 3 is like brutal for me.
No, yeah, 1 through 4. I don't think there really is much of an argument. It goes Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, Burrow. I'm going to be honest. My list is pretty much the same as yours. At 10, I got Dak Prescott. At 9, I got Jared Goff. At 8, I got Jaden Daniels. At 7, I got Drake May. I think Drake May has jumped Jaden Daniels just because of his injury history. At 6, I got Justin Herbert. At 5, I got Matt Stafford. So yeah, we've flip-flopped a couple positions here, but we both have Drake May as the 7th best quarterback in the NFL currently. Other than Justin Herbert and Matt Stafford, he's kind of right there in that second tier of top quarterbacks right now with his play.
Yeah, I mean he's been doing it for a long time. Unbelievable player, and yeah.
All right. Other big news: Joe Burrow sighting at practice this week. The Bengals have opened up the 21-day practice window. What that means is he can now practice with the team without counting to the 53-man roster. After this 21-day practice period, he must either be activated or placed on the season-ending injury reserve list. So the Bengals are 3-6. The next 3 games, they got Steelers, Patriots, Ravens. Should Joe Burrow return? Will he return? Does it even matter if he returns?
I mean, yes, it definitely matters in the sense of just the entire organization. I mean, that's definitely a big move. You're paying this guy a lot of money. Like, if you're going to send him out there to go get killed again behind this offensive line, there better be a good reason. At this point, Flacco's been pretty serviceable. Like, Joe Burrow's not like on a rookie contract anymore. Like, there's no point in rushing him out there. There's no like timeline that you're trying to beat before you got to pay him. Like, all your guys are pretty much paid. So I realistically, I think being smart is probably the way to go. Now, if Flacco can go out there and win you some games, maybe, but like also if Flacco's winning you games, like, why rush it? So it seems like if they lose games, then why rush it because you're not making the playoffs? And if they win games, why rush it because things are going well? Like, I don't understand. I mean, other than him being a competitor, it doesn't make a ton of sense, like risking this, especially when you know the offensive line is not good.
I actually have a prediction that they will place him on the season-ending IR. I don't think Joe Burrow will see the field. So they're 3-6. The next 3 games: Steelers, Patriots, Ravens. Let's assume they beat the Steelers. You still got to play Patriots and Ravens. That's probably going to be 2 L's. So if they win one of those 3 games, you're now 4-8. Like, what
You're
are you
done,
doing,
yeah.
Trotton Burrow? What are you doing, Trotton Burrow out there? So you put up 42 points and lost to the Bears. You put up 38 points and lost to the Jets. You put up 33 points and beat the Steelers. What is Joe Burrow going to do to help this team? Unless he's playing defense.
Yeah, play
Unless
safety, maybe.
Unless he's playing defense.
He
I
might
don't
be
see,
safer at safety than he will be at quarterback.
because offense and the points are not the problem. So trotting Joe Burrow out there to put up 40 points, it's not going to matter. They're going to lose 42-40 and they're going to be 4-8. So I actually don't think Joe Burrow does see the field this year.
I think that's fair.
Again. All right, let's get to our power rankings. A little bit interesting here. Had some shuffling up. Let's see what you think of this. At number 10, we got the Ravens, 4-5. Could they be back? They're favorites to win the AFC North. Lamar versus the NFC stays hot. Got the Ravens in there at 10. At number 9, I got the Colts, 8-2. They get the win in OT versus the Falcons. Jonathan Taylor is a monster. They've had some turnover problems the past few weeks, but Colts still a really good team. At number 8, I got the Bucs, 6-3, off a bye, lost at home to the Pats. I still thought Baker looked great. Still a good team, expecting to win the division. At number 7, I got the Broncos, 8-2. They won this week, and I dropped them in the rankings. I had to. I just had to. They lead the AFC West. I don't know if winning like this is sustainable. They lead the league in sacks. Just, it's a weird record for how they're winning. At number 6, we got the Lions, 6-3. Been a little streaky, but I think it's the second best roster in the NFL. They're coming off a blowout win, 44-22 at Commanders. Number 5, Chiefs, 5-4. They had a bye this week. Big game this week at the Broncos. Number 4, I got the Patriots, 8-2. 7-game win streak, 28-23 at Tampa Bay. May is leading the MVP race. Vrabel is doing an insane job coaching this team. Love the Patriots. At number 3, I got the Seahawks, 7-2. 44-22 win versus the Cardinals. It seems like every game and you blink and they're up 28-0. Like, they're killing these first halves. Darnold is the number 1 ranked quarterback on PFF right now. Number 2, I got the Rams, 7-2, 42-26 at San Francisco. Stafford, last 6 games, 20 touchdowns, no interceptions, complete team. At number 1, I still got the Eagles, 7-2, defending Super Bowl champions. They won 10-7 at Green Bay off a bye. They're still here because they added Jalen Phillips from Miami. I love the move. He made an impact week 1. They added a good player to the already best roster in the league. I can see you over there. You think the Rams should be number 1.
I wanted Rams at 1. Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to,
No, I was thinking about putting Rams at 1, but, Eagles won, and I really like the Jalen Phillips addition from Miami. I know it wasn't pretty this week, but 7-2, I think they have the best roster in the NFL. At number 11, I got the Chargers, and at number 12, I got the Bills. Bills fall way out of the top 10 from last week.
Wow. A lot of bunching up.
All right, let's get to fantasy football. Before we get into starts, I want to give a shout out to Will McDermott in my big fantasy league. The name of his team is the Ohio State Patriots. He is the first person in our league ever to crack 200 points. I want to read this. Stafford, 26.9. JT, 46.9. Achane, 40.5. Olave, 21.4. Pittman, 3.9. Hunter Henry, 1.9. Travion, 28. Jason Myers, 16.2. Seahawks D, 23. That'll add up to 211.4 points with CeeDee Lamb on the bench on bye. Incredible week.
Man, that's impressive stuff with Pittman and Henry going for 4 points combined.
You had two players combined for 5 points, and he went for 211 points. It is, I think in that league, my team scored 88 points this week. So he more than doubled. Gosh, I don't know. All right, week 11 fantasy football starts. Who's a good start this week?
All right, I got some deep sleeper starts this week for us. We're starting off with Jonnu Smith playing the Bengals. We saw last time what happened when the Steelers played the Bengals. Bengals don't cover tight ends. Last time it got kind of filtered to Pat Freiermuth a little bit more. Jonnu did get in the end zone. I think you see even more of him this week. I think it's a big game. You can absolutely start him if you need to, especially if you got somebody on bye or whatever. Next up, I'm actually going to go Sean Tucker against the Bills. I think that Rachaad White has just not looked great. Tucker ran the ball better than White did against the Patriots. The Bills, you can run the ball on. I think he has some ability catching the ball as well. I think you see a little bit more of him this week. And if you need a spot start, I think he is startable in this game. And lastly, playing the Cowboys, start him. So Trey Tucker, I think, has a big week. I think this is one of the weeks where you see the 70-yard touchdown bomb to Trey Tucker, and he puts up, I'm not saying 40-point game, but I think he hits for that 20-plus, touchdown, maybe 100 yards because he hit a long one or something. Definitely startable.
Yeah, I've got it written down right here. Trey Tucker versus Dallas. High-scoring game. He will get in the end zone. I like that call there. RJ Harvey this week versus Kansas City. So J.K. Dobbins is likely going to IR. We're going to see an uptick of production for RJ Harvey. Juwan Jennings this week versus Arizona. The last 2 weeks, he's seen 14 targets. He's had 14.1, 17.1 fantasy points. I like Juwan Jennings this week. Last one here, Khalil Shakir versus Tampa Bay. We just saw Drake May. He kind of torched the Tampa Bay defense through the air a little bit. Josh Allen doesn't have a ton of people to throw to. I think he's going to have to throw the ball against this Tampa Bay defense. So I think Khalil Shakir has a good week and gets in the end zone. Week 11 sits. Who's sitting this week?
Look, I like the player, but man, Breece Hall is hard to start. New England Patriots run defense is just nasty. This Patriots team is built about as perfectly as you can build a team to shut down the Jets. And Breece is going to catch the brunt of it. He might get a decent bit of touches, but unless he's getting some catches, which I do expect him to get some, but he's going to have to pop it on the catches because I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of run room for him in this game.
Completely agree. Yep.
Another stout run defense is the Texans. Tony Pollard, I just don't love it there. I mean, he's going to have to score, but it doesn't look like the Titans are probably going to be scoring much against the Texans. This is probably another game where you see a little bit more of Swift. It's just really hard to play Tony Pollard right now. And then lastly, I'm going Tyron Tracy. I think this is going to be a tough game. That Packers defense is really, really strong. And with Devin Singletary getting in there, it's going to be really tough for him to put up points this week.
Man, I got all three of those down here that you just said. You nailed those perfectly. I'm gonna throw one more running back in here. David Montgomery versus Philly. He hasn't had back-to-back weeks of 15-plus carries since 2023. This past week, he had 15 carries versus Washington. I think this could be a lower-scoring game. I think it's a bad week for David Montgomery.
The only thing I will add to that is Dan Campbell did take over play calling last week, so it may be a wait and see on David Montgomery. But
I'm not sure how much play calling Dan Campbell took over. I know that everyone's like, oh, Dan Campbell was calling the plays. I think it was more of him overseeing what was going on. I have a hard time believing that he just took complete control over the play calling. I think there was probably situations that he wanted to see happen in the game, and he made sure that they happen. I have a hard time believing that he just straight up called the offense for that entire game. But I did see what you were saying there. Waiver wire. Who should we be looking at on the waiver wire week 11?
Yeah, I think it's mainly a couple of hurt quarterbacks that could be coming back soon. Joe Burrow, I know we both think he might not come back at all, but I still think it's worth a dart throw. If he was dropped, if he was not kept in an IR slot, go out and get him.
He's been sitting on my IR slot.
Yeah. And then Brock Purdy, similar kind of thing. It does sound like they're trying to kind of ramp him up. The San Francisco schedule is pretty nice. They're getting some wide receivers back healthy. Kittle is back healthy and finally looked like himself this past week. So that's a nice offense to be in. So not a bad idea to go grab and maybe stash those guys for when they're healthy.
I'm looking at a couple tight ends here. Zach Ertz is the number 10 tight end. He's playing Miami. Marcus Mariota does like throwing to him, so he's a very startable tight end. K. Dotton as well, still on the waiver wire. He's had 10-plus fantasy points in 4 of the last 5 weeks. I'm going to throw another Tampa Bay player on there, Tez Johnson. 4 touchdowns last 4 weeks. Baker likes him, obviously, with Evans and Godwin out. He's been seeing targets. And then I'm going to throw a defense on here. This defense is pretty much on every waiver wire but the Chiefs. So the number 20 defense, they're playing Denver this week. We've seen that Denver just can't put up points. Like, would you be shocked if Kansas City won this game like 17-13? Probably not.
No.
I think it's going to be a good week to get that Chiefs D.
Yeah. One other thing, keep an eye on Dalton Kincaid. If he is actually out this game, Dawson Knox, in a game where I expect the Bills to throw the ball a decent bit, is very startable.
Yeah, I like that call. All right, gambling. Last week bets, not so great. We've been hot. I guess we were due for a cold one. I went 1-2. I took Bills, I took Ravens, and I took Steelers. The only one that hit there was the Ravens. Andrew, you took Bills, Browns, and Seahawks. The only one that hit there was the Seahawks. On the year, I am 19-11, and Andrew is 15-15 at 500. Let's take you through the games this week. On bye, we got two teams on bye, the Indianapolis Colts and the New Orleans Saints. On Thursday, we get Jets at Patriots. Patriots favored by 12.5. Sunday, 9:30 from Madrid, we get Commanders and Dolphins. Dolphins are favored by 2.5. 1 p.m. slate, we get Panthers at Falcons. Falcons favored by 3.5. Bucks at Bills. Bills favored by 5.5. Chargers at Jaguars. Jaguars +3. Bears at Vikings. Vikings -3. Packers at Giants. Giants +7. Bengals at Steelers. Steelers -5.5. Texans at Titans. Titans +7.5. 4 p.m. window, we get 49ers at Cardinals. Cardinals +2.5. Seahawks at Rams. Rams -2.5. Ravens at Browns. Browns +7.5. Chiefs at Broncos. Broncos +3.5. Late night game, we get Lions at Eagles. Eagles -2.5. On Monday night, we get Cowboys at Raiders. Raiders are getting 3.5. What is the most must-win game of the week?
I think it's the Chiefs at Denver. If they lose that game, they slip a little bit too far behind the Broncos in the division for my liking. Look, you want at least one playoff game at Arrowhead for that advantage. So they definitely want to win this division. They've got some tough games left. This is really important for them to beat the Broncos really both times that they play them coming down the stretch here.
Nope, that is the correct answer. It is the Chiefs. That is the most must-win game of the week, definitely. Playing the Broncos in division there. All right, what are your bets of the week?
All right, we are starting off Thursday night. I am taking the Patriots. 12.5, don't care. The Patriots are built to shut down the Jets. The Jets' offense is a disaster. They just scored 27 points on 169 yards of total offense. That is completely unsustainable. They're not going to get the special teams luck that they had last week. It's not going to happen. If the Patriots score 20 points in this game, I think they cover this. Like, the Jets are just, I just don't see them scoring against the Patriots. I feel like the Patriots defense is set up perfectly to shut them down. So I like the Patriots there. Next, I'm going to take the Bengals +5.5. Look, they just beat the Steelers last time around. AFC North battles, I feel like, are always close. I could see the Steelers winning this, but I think it stays closer than that 5.5. Whether it shoots out, whether it's an ugly AFC North game, I don't really care. I think it stays closer than that. And then lastly, I'm going to take San Francisco -2.5 at Arizona. Arizona, like, I just don't think they're very good. They've been losing a ton of games. San Fran, like, they got beat decently by the Rams, but I think the Rams are the best team in the NFL right now. I thought the 49ers offense looked decent at times in this game, and I think they'll benefit from playing a little bit weaker opponent.
All right, I'm going to start off with the Sunday morning game in Madrid. I'm going to take the Dolphins -2.5. I think the Commanders have kind of shut it down for the season, and I think the Dolphins ride that momentum off the win against the Bills. I am going to take I'm going to go against Colt Knost here. I'm taking Vikings -3. He was saying how the Bears have won 6 of 7. To me, that says Caleb's due for a bad one. JJ McCarthy they struggled last week. I think this is a bounce back week for the Vikings. I like the Vikings -3. Last one I'm taking, Ravens -7.5 against the Browns. I think this one's over early. Like, halftime, you're like, this game's closed and shut. So I'm taking Dolphins -2.5, Vikings -3, and Ravens -7.5. Andrew is taking Patriots -12.5, Bengals +5.5, San Francisco -2.5. Earlier in the show, Colt Knost, he locked in under 47.5 for the 9:30 Madrid game. Bears +3 and Rams -2.5. Lock them in. Let's get over to our survivor pool. $0 entry fee, $500 cash to the winner. We started with 187 participants. We entered week 10 with 20 people left. 10 people will be moving on to week 11. That means 10 people died this week. So 30% of the league this week took Denver, hit. We had some big misses. 25% took Buffalo. 25% took Carolina, knocked out a ton of people. I will give a shout out. Someone did take the Bears over the Giants this week. Very close call at EDASZ. Actually, is that Emma Haydaz? I think that's one of the kids in our fantasy football group's girlfriend. Wow, she's still in it. Okay, that makes sense. $500 cash will be rewarded at some point to the winner. We got 10 contestants left. It's getting down to the nitty gritty here.
Yeah, I got knocked out this week. I took the Panthers. I did tell multiple people that I was going to lose this week because I was taking the Panthers. My route to win, though, I felt like I had to take the risk. I considered taking the Bears, but the way it was going to break down for the rest of the season, if I took the Panthers, I was going to be smooth sailing for a while. It was a risk that I knew I was probably going to lose, but just did not work out.
You really needed that $500, too. Damn.
Did.
Don't forget to get on YouTube, like and subscribe at screenplay_podcast. We are on socials at screenplay_podcast. You can also check out our website, thescreenplaypodcast.com. New episodes every Wednesday, 8 a.m., wherever you stream podcasts. Thank you to Colt Knost for joining us today. Great guest. You'll see him out there on tour all year long. Andrew, congrats on the new baby, 6 days old. Get some sleep when you can. Any last words to the listeners?
No, thanks for tuning in this week, and enjoy another week of football.
We appreciate all of y'all, and we will see you next week.